Tonight on the Pioneer Sideline, the men's and women's basketball team were once again in the KIAC action, and the women found themselves conference champions and are in the national tournament as well. Baseball and softball are both in full swing, and as always, we finish up with the case of the week. All that and more as we head on down to the Pioneer Sideline. Sideline. I'm your host, Chris Hoffman. The women's basketball team has been a force to be reckoned with the last few seasons, and Johnie Freiwald now joins me to see how the women did over the spring break.
Team is still at it. The Pioneers have played 3 postseason games since our last broadcast, defeating their opponents during all of these games and moving on to the national championship. Though the girls have defeated all of their tournament opponents, they have dropped in rank from number 1 to number 7. At the beginning of the KIAC tournament, Point Park stayed at home and took on Brescia, defeating them by 20 points with a final score of 98-78. 3 days later, the team then traveled to Kentucky to take on Berea, beating them by only 4 points and a final score of 68-64. The following day, the Pioneers played another game in Kentucky, taking on the number 2 ranked Asbury. This game ended with a score of 67-59. Now, during this game, there was quite a bit of back and forth scoring from these highly ranked teams. Asbury quickly took the lead and by the half had a 10-point lead on Point Park. Within the first 10 minutes of the second period, the Pioneers took back the lead, but only for a few minutes. The score was tied several times throughout the game, but ultimately Point Park came out on top. During the last practice before heading to the championship in Iowa, some of the players had quite a bit to say about the tournament and their ranking.
I was able to inherit a really strong team, and we were able to compete immediately, the team took to my philosophies really well, and then once you start winning, I think winning is contagious, and ever since that first year there's high expectations for the program.
We've just gotten used to winning, and that says a lot about Tony and what he's done with the program, and also about how hard we've worked.
I'm wearing the same clothes as yesterday. I got a ball cap on. I got some bags underneath my eyes from watching so much film and trying to get us prepared. So, yeah, I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder.
It just shows like we don't really get a lot of respect for the kayak, and we just need to prove that we're better than what they think we are.
So it's really motivating us to kind of prove everyone wrong, the same with how we didn't host our conference tournament. So it's kind of that same idea where we really just want to go in there and prove what we have to offer.
Now, Johnie, you look at the team there, you hear them say they really want some respect on the national level. They fall in the polls. John, number 2, Morningside in the first round, another tough challenge for this team, but they faced challenges all year, Johnie.
That's right. They faced challenges all year, whether it be their lineup or whether it be the teams they're playing. They faced challenges all year, and they've overcome just about all of them.
And some of those biggest challenges, Johnie, where they lost Janine McFadder right off to start the year, the returning leading scorer. They lost April Austin, one of the best scorers all time. And they had 4 new players in their starting lineup. They had Kayla Kiddio, the transfer. They had 3 freshmen in DePietro, Weir, and Forrest, but they really got the job done. So this is just another task on the way to going to the national tournament, and possibly if they can win this game, they could really go deep into this tournament, Johnie, because you look at they would go from taking down the 2 seed.
Yeah, Chris, they have overcome so many of these challenges. They have gone really far in this season, and honestly, with this lineup and with these dedicated players, I think they can go very far into this tournament.
And how big is it for the development of this team? They had Coach Tony Grant for 3 years now, 3 straight conference tournament appearances, and now a 3rd straight national tournament appearance. How big is that for the development of this team moving forward?
I mean, Chris, this is a huge development of this team, from the coaches to the players to the unity from the school, everything. This whole season has been an amazing development that we have all been able to watch here on Pioneer Sidelines, and all of the fans at home too. You know, this team wouldn't be where it is without the bonding and development that it's had this season.
And on top of that, Johnie, now the big step for them would really be able to step up and win their first ever game in the national tournament. How big would that be moving forward for this team?
You know, like I've been saying all season, every challenge that this team faces and beats, it's huge because this team is only going to grow within the next few years with having so many freshmen on it. If they win this game and they keep going throughout the championship, we're only going to see repetitive seasons for the next coming years. Lots of wins and lots of high scores.
All right, thanks, Johnie. Hopefully the Pioneers can really pull off the big upset. Now, Brittany Lauffer now joins me in studio with this week's Regional Sports Report.
The Steelers have made some new changes in their lineup for the upcoming 2014 season and includes cutting Lamar Woodley. An insider told the Associated Press the Steelers will part ways with the highest paid defensive player in the franchise's history. However, the move is not yet official. 26-year-old Woodley would likely be designated a post-June 1st salary cap cut, but is free to sign with another team when the new league year begins Tuesday afternoon. Woodley signed a 6-year, $61.5 million contract back in 2011, but has struggled to remain healthy. He missed at least 3 games in each of the last 3 seasons as hamstring and other lower body issues kept him sidelined for long stretches. The Steelers are also dealing with the news of Rashard Mendenhall's retirement from the NFL. 26-year-old Mendenhall has decided to end his playing career after 6 NFL seasons, all but one of them with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mendenhall has consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons for the Steelers in 2009 and 2010. A knee injury limited him to 6 games with Pittsburgh in 2012. Additional releases include cornerback Curtis Brown, official tackle Levi Brown, and veteran linebacker Larry Foote. On the other hand, the team announced safety Troy Polamalu and tight end Heath Miller signed new 3-year deals that will keep them in Pittsburgh through 2016. Crosby pushed the Penguins to a 3-2 victory over the Washington Capitals at Verizon Center last night. His outstanding performance, including winning 14 of 19 faceoffs, shined against the Capitals captain Alex Ovechkin, Crosby's chief rival of 9 NHL seasons and a 3-time reigning MVP. The Penguins went 3-2-0 on a grueling 5-game road trip that covered 6 cities and more than 7,000 miles, and included 3 games against Western Conference powers Chicago, San Jose, and Anaheim. The Penguins have a few games this week tonight, including tonight against Washington, then their home series against Philadelphia this weekend. The Pittsburgh Pirates have begun their first round of roster cuts, including pitcher Jameson Taillon, the Pirates' top prospect. Taillon was the 2nd overall pick in the 2012 amateur and was reassigned to minor league camp Monday and is to start the season with AAA Indianapolis. Infielder Matt Hugg and catcher Carlos Pellini also were reassigned to minor league camp. Right-hander Casey Sadler was optioned to Indianapolis, and infielder Alan Hansen and left-hander Joely Rodriguez were optioned to Double-A Altoona.
Thanks, Brittany. After the break, Zach, Aaron, and I take a look at the men's basketball team and their future. And we also will have a look at some other things going on in Pioneer Sports. You're watching the Pioneer Sideline here on UView.